What's going on? Yes, live again on YouTube, but I'm saving this for the early evening show. We might do both. I have an outstanding guest. She coming all the way from Houston, Texas, but she from Jersey. Give it up for Kor'en from Kor'en and Co. Yeah, that's right. Look, I say give it up, but it's only us two on here, so you got to give your own. You got to validate yourself. You know what I mean? So when I say
Exactly.
give it up, I was talking to you. Give it up, girl. Give it up yourself. That's right. Pat on the back. All right. So tell us, you know what? I'm not even gonna ask a question. Just you have the floor right now. Tell the people whatever you want them to know, and then I'll get into the questions.
So my name is Corinne. I'm originally from Englewood, New Jersey, born and raised. I've been living in New Jersey my whole life, and I want to say going into college is when I really found my passion for hairstyling and doing hair. And
Mm-hmm.
I made a lot of my connections in school and graduating and living on my own. I actually moved into Newark and I started doing my hair journey there. And between Newark and Patterson, I met a lot of cool ladies, meeting people from different walks of life. And I went on to have my own hair studio. And, I got to work with other hairstylists who wanted a space to work with as well. And just meeting those cool ladies and just meeting new clients and things like that, I decided that, I kind of wanted to branch out and try something different, which prompted me to move to Houston. And during my move, I just figured that I too should, start a podcast and just shine a light on the interesting people that I met who have a story.
I love that. I love that. So you pretty much just ran down the whole interview, but I'm gonna break it down in the even later. I'm like, man, how you gonna give away, man? I was so talk about the cosmetology journey. Talk about the first time you did hair and you said, I think I want to do this as like a career. If you remember, I don't know if you remember, but I know there's certain times and places that hit me like a ton of breaks, like, yo, this is it. Was there a time and place for you that happened with cosmetology?
So I'm a first generation American, and I know people from the same background who are watching this could pretty much relate to what I'm about to say. But I went to school, and my schedule didn't really allow me to have a job. And for Black women, our hair is very important. So at that time, YouTube was just getting on its feet, and they started doing hair tutorials. So I figured out how to braid my own hair. And I go into the calf one day and this girl's like, I love your braids. Who did it? And I'm like, me. And she's like, do you do hair? And I had to think on my feet and be like, yeah. So I, charged her a little $50 to do her braids. And that's pretty much how word got around. And that's how I got started.
I love that. So originally, where are your people from?
So my mom is Jamaican and my dad's Liberian. And
Oh
yeah,
man,
they met in Queens, a night out on the town, and then the rest is history.
I love that, man. And then the little Korean came out at the years later.
Exactly.
Love it, love it. So from that first $50 hairdo, like the first time you did the braids for $50. Matter of fact, before we even go further, how did that first time you did the young lady's hair for $50? Did it go well? How did it go from there?
Well, it took forever, and doing your own hair is different from doing someone else's hair. But, I realized that I love to talk. So, we had conversation, and she really didn't care how long I took just because she felt so comfortable. But I was nervous behind my first client. I'm not gonna lie. And
Of course you were.
yeah, and
Of
once I
course.
got my practice in, and I just realized that if I'm first starting out, the best thing that I can use to my advantage is my vibe. So I had a little bar set up in my dorm, and
Oh, you
we
know,
had people coming
love
in,
that.
watching movies, drinking a little Hennessy and cranberry, and they enjoyed themselves, and word got around that way. So
I
things
love
just
that.
worked
So you,
out.
you had a salon before you had a salon in your dorm room.
Exactly. I had a salon in my dorm room in South Orange.
Love that. So, and you know, a lot of huge companies starting dorm rooms. That's all I'm saying.
Dorm rooms and
Bas-
basements.
Yeah, that look. I'm in the basement right now. Look at that. Big. Don't look like it, do it. Look,
It
I
doesn't.
mean, that's what I'm
It
talking about.
doesn't.
Yeah, but so from that first hairdo to now, how important, or tell me how do you use your personality in cosmetology, and how important is it to a cosmetologist to have that skill? Because you clearly have that skill. You said you made your dorm room into a lounge vibe out area that you happen to be doing hair. How important is that, and how much does it help you lead to? How much does it lead you to success?
It's very important because you really never know who's going to be sitting in your chair. I've
Mm-hmm.
had children of celebrities sit in my chair. I've had people who I didn't even know was in the entertainment industry sit in my chair. So spending over 4 hours with someone and you're doing their hair is very intimate. So you want the person to feel comfortable and you
Right.
want the experience to be good for you too. So I guess learning who your client is and, just going off of their personality and their vibes, you don't want to be bubbly and full of energy if someone's coming to sit in your chair and they're tired from a long day. So it's just, feeling your guest out and, just treating them as a guest, not really like a customer or a client.
Mm. That is good. That's
Hmm.
you write a book on that. You treat them as a guest, not as a customer or a client. Like I
Yeah.
think that's high level community, high level customer service right there.
Yeah, definitely. Hospitality is everything.
Absolutely. I've never heard anybody say that. You should write that. Matter of fact, anybody watching, write that down, send it to it, because that's fire. Treat them as a guest and not a customer. Oh, love that, man.
Yeah.
And people, dog, you're gonna want to spend money with somebody. You get treated like a guest. You
Yeah.
come
The
in and
people.
just sit down, have a good. You want something to drink? Oh, yeah, like, oh, yeah, I do actually. That's why I like going to high end car dealers. They treat you like you're
Yeah.
just in your face.
And that could be the highlight of someone's day. Like I said, you never know what people are going through or what type of day that they have before they sat in your chair. So it's very, very important.
Right. Definitely important. Good stuff. Like that was man. I love. I interview a lot of people, and every interview you don't get something. You're like, yo, that was good. Like what you said, that was like, so I don't know, something clicked in my mind. Like, yo, treat him like that. That's
Like
fine.
a
Never heard it
guest.
used that
Yeah.
way. It's really, really high level customer service. So continue doing what you're doing on that. But let's
Thank
talk
you.
about Kor'en and Co. Because we was talking about your early beginnings, where you doing it out the dorm room. Explain to the people what Kor'en and Co is and how it started and where it is now.
So Corinne and Co is basically a co-working space. I like to call it that. A co-working space for beauticians. So these are ladies who already have their own businesses, but they maybe were based out of their home or traveling and just looking for a stationary place for their clients to visit them.
Mm,
And so I just created a content creation space, set up some booths, and I put an ad out and got to interview some ladies that I felt like I really connected with, and
right.
they use that space faithfully. If they want to have events and classes and things like that, they have the space to do that. So that's what Corinne and Co is. I'm also a hairstylist, and I'm partnered with Warner right now as a vendor for Warner Records. So if they have a client or an artist that comes to New York City and they don't have a stylist, if they need any protective styles, I'm there.
I love that, man. That's fire. So I'm more so partnering with Warner is dope. I used to work in Atlantic, man. Shout out Atlantic, Warner Music, all that, man. Fire. I'm glad that's a great contact for you to have, man. Like
Hmm.
that's strong. Like, and they're gonna call at random times. Just be ready.
Exactly. You gotta have that hair bag in the trunk of your car
Yeah.
and be ready. But I
Yeah.
did want to double down and say, I was able to get that opportunity through one of my clients. I met her while she was in college and she was interning. Fast forward, we kind of grew a connection because she liked coming and having girl talk and things like that. And, once she was able to be the assistant to the VP on the urban division,
Mm.
she was looking for a stylist to do her clients hair who just came to America. And, she called me. And, those are how those connections and relationships get started. So very, very important to treat all your clients as guests and you're equal.
Oh, because you treat them as guests and not as customers. Look at
Exactly.
you.
Ding,
I
ding,
see what you
ding.
did there. Yo, I think that's a book name. When you come out with that book, treat your clients as guests, not customers. You got to give me a shout out somewhere in that book. I don't care if it's
Definitely.
in acknowledgments, but That's gold right there. All right. So Corinne and co-working, like I like you. So what did you major in college? Because you have a way of wording things. Because I've seen it before where they have like, they call them what they call them, like solo studios. You
Yeah,
call it a
salon
co-working
suites.
space.
Yes, a
I see
co-working
what you
space.
did there. You girl, you mingling and making it work. You got away with words, but Corinne and Co. And you got the talk about how it is having that space for yourself, but also how it helps cultivate other people's careers as more than yours, or not more than yours, but as well as yours.
So it's very rewarding because when I do go back home to visit, I have a space where my clients can come, people who have been waiting for me to come back. But
Right,
I also like seeing the ladies in there working together. And through their connections, they've also been able to have their celebrity guests come in and have a space where, the guest feels like, okay, it's aesthetically pleasing, it's quiet, it's private. And
right,
when these ladies do have special guests, they're able to work together and have that space solely for themselves so that their clients have
right.
that personal experience. So it's just been very rewarding seeing their followers grow. They're coming back to let me know how this month was way better than last month, and these are the changes that I want to make. And just seeing other people blossom and being able to be a part of that just by providing a space has just been really rewarding.
Love that. So if somebody wanted to get in contact with you and wanted a potential space and wanted to rent your space, how would they do that?
So first they would contact me just through my email, and I do a FaceTime or digital interview with them. And I
Mm-hmm.
just let them know, the guidelines, the basic rules that we follow. Just let them know about the security of the building, the businesses that we have in the surrounding areas, and just give them a feel of what they want to market to their clients. A lot of people have different demographics as their clientele, so we just want to make sure that what we have is what you're looking for. But it's an interview process. You come and see the space, you meet the other women, and we get to learn about you and your business and take it from there.
Love that. Do the other people at the space have say in who comes and who doesn't?
Have to tell me who comes and who doesn't. No, but they have their own booking systems where people put in their first and last name and their personal information, and then they're able to book the style and everything that they're looking for. So they're in charge of themselves. And we have security and cameras and things like that. So everything is pretty smoothly, and they still are able to keep their independence without a safety risk.
Love that. That's fine. Like that's awesome. Like I'm really impressed by that. That's super cool, and I love the way you made it a co-working space. Co-working.
Yes, co-working space.
Yeah, that's genius. We're gonna talk about that off camera, but that's genius. Love what you're doing with that.
Thank
Um, the move. So now you were originally in Union, New Jersey. Now you're in Houston, or are you Houston?
I'm
I'm
in
correct.
Houston.
I just
Yeah.
making sure. I didn't want to get that wrong. But what's the reason for the move? How has the move been? And like, how is Houston? I hear a lot of things. I hear people have a great time, and I hear people don't have a great time. Tell me your whole experience with that whole thing.
So originally, I just wanted a change of scenery, and I came here to visit a friend. And ironically enough, there's a lot of people from New Jersey and New York who have moved to Houston. So once I made a lot of those connections, I felt like, it was a little vacation away from home. And I made the decision to move, and I wanted to find a second location. I know Houston is big on hair, and their business laws are also a little bit more relaxed. So I wanted to take a stab at it and grow my clientele here, which has been pretty good.
Hmm.
And I've been having a great time social wise, but I'm a girl from the Northeast and I'm not used to tornadoes. I had my first tornado in May and it scared the life out of me.
I'm
And
sure it did. Scares me. I'm here, man. Like, oh, you had to be in the basement. You got a basement where you stay at?
there's no basements in Houston.
What? So where
Yeah,
did you go to the tornado, man? Me and
I
my wife, this
back
was
against the wall.
Yo,
looking at the window, trying to see if anything's gonna come through the glass because yeah, there's no basements in Houston. I guess because we're sea level. I'm not sure, but yeah, during those times you have to like hide in the bathtub or in a corner, you know. So
bathtub.
yeah, it's like it's such a
Oh,
culture shock in that sense. But I mean, other than that, the move has been great. The people here are friendly. I've seen more black people here than I've ever seen, which is like just so like, warm into the soul, coming
right.
where we're coming from. But a lot of successful black people here. And it's just an experience. I would definitely recommend everyone take at least one trip and come down to Houston.
All right, man. If I come and it be a tornado, Corinne, no, I'm gonna be very upset. You ain't coming here for this, dog. Like, yo, me and my wife was watching this thing on like tornadoes and national disasters. Oh man, I was
It's
scared. I ain't gonna,
crazy.
and I'm scared of mountain lions now, man. I'm be walking trails and stuff. We're gonna stay focused on you and what you're doing. So Houston's dope, and we're gonna end off with plugged in with Corinne. Tell the people about plugged in with Corinne, what it is, where they can find it, and all that good stuff.
So, Plugged In with Kor'en is a podcast that you could find on YouTube, or you can look up Kor'en and Co on YouTube, and it'll come right up for you. But the podcast is basically a space where I get to interview people that I've met who either have an interesting story to tell, or they have a career that a lot of not a lot of people in our demographic may know about. So I really wanted a lot of my clients who are in college. Majority of my clients are African American and Hispanic, and a good portion of them are also first generation
Mm,
Americans. And I have one episode up right now, and those two ladies, one works with Paramount and the other works at Warner Records. And they're both also first generation Americans. And, a lot of times people who are first generation, their parents want them to be like doctors, engineers,
yeah,
lawyers.
that's what I
And
hear.
I just wanted people to know that you can merge your passions along with practicability and,
Mhm.
just make your dreams come true. So these ladies are going to the Grammys, the Oscars, BT weekend, and, just living their best lives because they stay true to what they like to do. And I
Mhm.
just want to get the point across that you can be yourself unapologetically and, just find what works for you and pursue that and end up in places that you just never dreamed,
That's right.
imaginable.
That's right. Love that.
Yeah.
So, will the is that going to be the focus on the podcast? Like people in their careers, or does it like podcasts could be a lot of things, and a
It
lot of people
could.
have podcasts that they don't really line up consistently. So one week it'll be this, one week it'll be that. But the focus of the podcast is really people finding their thing. Is that what I'm
Yes.
understanding?
Finding their thing, monetizing their hobbies,
Mm-hmm.
spaces and careers that people never, I guess, assumed or thought that, Black people would have a foot in. I just want
Right.
them to see people that look like them, people
Yeah.
wearing braids who are the vice president of this company, people with
Word.
tattoos who are the vice president of that company.
Right.
I just really want to shine a light and let people know you really have a space anywhere.
That's right. You definitely do. Man, well, Corinne, I have no more questions, man. But it has been a joy to have you on because
Thanks
it's
for having me.
you got an energy through this thing, and you have a way with words that's smooth. You're a market. You should go into marketing if you're not already in marketing because you spin things really well.
Yeah,
And
that's what I actually went to school for, business marketing.
how did I
Yeah.
know? I asked you that question, but you ain't answer. I'm like, nah, that's I know marketing when I hear it, dog. I see
Yeah.
what's happening, but it's a skill that clearly you use throughout your whole life, and it's been going well for you. So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank
Anytime you
you.
want to come back by the early evening show, the door is always open. And when you're in Jersey, we could get a live. You can get you in studio and I don't have no head, you know what I mean? But you
We could
I don't
do a
know, maybe it could be
FaceTime.
yeah, man. They give it facial, the beard
Do a
thing. I don't
little
know.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
No,
all
we
that
ain't
good
doing
stuff.
Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know. Nah, I ain't with that, man. I keep it pretty simple. This is how it looks all the time. You know what I mean? No,
In
nothing.
case you want to switch it up.
I don't know. You know what? When I'm ready, you're the person I'm calling. You're the
I
person I'm
got
calling
you.
to switch up. But Kor'en, you got anything you want to tell the people before we check out?
I just want
And
to
where
tell
can they find you? Sorry to cut you off. Where can they find you? Where can people get in contact with you? Give them your exacts
well,
on social media or whatever.
you can find me on Instagram, Kor'en and Co. That's KORENANDKO. I also have a YouTube, Kor'en and Co. You can tap into there as well. Um, but yeah, I pretty much just want to end off by saying, any dream that you have, any idea that you have, you have one life. And the youngest that you are going to be is today. So don't pause or, stall your dreams. Just whatever fire that you have, ignite it and keep going. You never know where you'll end up.
Love that. That's a powerful way to end, man. Kor'en, all love. Anybody checking in, man, y'all know where to find her. Tyrone Miller, the early evening show. We'll see y'all soon. And that's all I got, man. So I'm gonna
Bye.
end my stream. Peace, love, baby. Peace, love. Wait, what? I can't even peace love. Yeah, baby. Couldn't get it, man. Depending on the angle.